Hello everyone, glad to be here and see you again for those who I already met, and hello to the new ones, new faces. So I'm Nouri Bourakadi, and with my friend, longtime friend and colleague Dave Mason from University of Toronto Metropolitan University, we'll talk about PharoJS. I'm from IMT Nord-Europe, from northern France, and we've been working on PharoJS for many years, and I want to dive into how to hijack the JavaScript ecosystem. Yes. Okay, but first I have a confession. I'm an addict. Not that type of addict. Don't call the police, but still, I'm a small talk addict. So my wife complains because this is me at home. Oop, what happened? What happened? Okay, my wife really complains. Part of slide didn't load. Okay, reload. Show anyway. Okay. So this is me at work. And this is me on vacation. Okay, so, and I have a second confession. I'm lazy. Actually, I teach laziness. So I'm a lazy developer, so I don't want to develop. And this is why I teach my students. Say, okay, go get what you have there and get what's available on the repository. What is funny is this is not the slide I was expecting. So for some reason, no, this is not my presentation. This is the, okay, it failed to load. Can I stop for a second? And for some reason, it didn't reload the right version of the presentation. Or it didn't save it, which is annoying, but okay, it didn't, it's not exactly the right version, but anyway, I will survive. Oh, maybe I have a backup plan because I'm supposed to have downloaded the PDF last night. Yes, and hopefully it's the right version. Yes, and yes, because I want to acknowledge the community. Okay, how do I go to preview? Command F. View, enter full screen. Okay. So I'm a lazy developer. So I first start by looking what's available in our community. So thanks to Cyril Ferlico and others, we have this open documentation of Pharo. So we can go and find a lot of categories. Like there are 35 or 36 categories. So lots of things with nice, cool libraries to reuse. And of course, there is the rest of the world. So there is a huge JavaScript community. So why not steal what they have too? So being addict and lazy, so I use Pharo and I steal what's available for JavaScript world. So libraries and runtime. But all development, all my work is done in Pharo. So this is PharoJS. So it's a transpiler, so it converts Pharo code to JavaScript. It's a framework to help developing JS application in Pharo. It provides libraries. It has some tools, a specific playground and inspector, so you can play with JS objects while in the image, in the Pharo image. And there is a test framework, so you can always go and test your JS application. So in the past, developed mobile application with PharoJS. So basically develop everything in the image and then press a button, it exports, and you get JS code that works with Apache Cordova, which is a JavaScript framework to make cross-platform application for both Android and iOS. And some of the developments made it to the stores. So I don't know if they are still there. Maybe they are too obsolete and they got remote, but we have for some time an application where you can navigate, find interesting stuff in the area and get routes to go there. And there is this brain treat application which shares fun facts, true facts, no fake news every day, and you can see it looks and feels like native applications. More on the other side, I made web applications. One of them is that I'm selling in my company called PLC3K, which basically a graphic environment for teaching factory automation to students in universities, and it has a physics engine, and it's students can interact and move things around, do some visual programming, and test whether the factory behaves as expected. And there is client side and server side. The client side is we develop in Pharo. We reuse the Matter.js library, which is a physics engine available in JavaScript. And then we got our application running on the web browsers. And on the server side, we have Pharo running in a Docker hosted by Google Cloud. And this thing is possible by many people, especially Gabriel Cotelli and other people from the Buenos Aires Smalltalk group. So they provide this feature, one of the things that we can rely on to make this kind of interesting stuff. But can we go further away with the PharoJS and address a server fully in JavaScript? This is actually a question that's faced, an issue I faced, because I had a hosting service that did not provide Docker. So there is Node or, Node.js or PHP. So I had to choose. So I pick JavaScript, and I started working on this generation with PharoJS to Express.js, which is the main web server in JavaScript, and running on Node for the server side. So this is what we'll be discussing now. So we start to show how it works. We start with a simple example, a minimal web server that you send a get command for the data, and you read some string from memory from the server, or you post data and save the string to memory on the server. So this is basic. And we want to do it 100% in Pharo and ultimately run it on JavaScript with the right process, which is write tests, make them pass, and then export to JS for production. So to do this, PharoJS provides a set of libraries, as I said. One of them is for testing web servers with Express.js. So it's the blue class with the class with the blue border. And basically, for my case, I need to create a subclass. And here I want to test the get and the post because they are related. And this is all I write for testing it. So I want to get the data, and initially it should be nil, and then post some data with some text like a string PharoJS, or can be hello ESUG, whatever. And the response code should be 200. And then ultimately, if we do another get, we should get the string. The response is the string that we already provided. And this relies on Zinc HTTP. So the test runs in Pharo image, and we use what's available. So Zinc HTTP, and this is thanks to work of the community and especially Sven. So and now we have the tests. So let's write the code. So PharoJS provide you with a class called Express App, which has an instance variable that is the server. So it takes care of everything, and all I have to do is create my minimal Express App with a slot called data to store data, and an initialization to provide the right routes So in initialize, I ask the server for the get to the path slash data. Here is the handler, which basically just sends data. And the next one is post. And so in case you receive the post method on the data, on slash data, you read the request body, save the data, and send it back as part of the response. There is, of course, since it's JavaScript, there are JS files. There are files you need to have on the disk, but this is all taken care of by PharoJS. So like we need to have an npm package properties, a list of required packages, because we need to say, okay, we need Express.js, we need other packages, and they need to download them from the web. And this is all done automatically. So some are generated from the Pharo image, and the node modules folder where it contains actual JS libraries that are available on npm or whatever server they are provided, they are installed on the fly. So basically, when we export, when you say, okay, well, I'm ready, the tests are passing, I'm happy with it, we generate the JS file and do the install of everything. And all it takes is like 230 kilobytes of JavaScript that is generated. And we can go on, say, okay, I want to improve. I want to serve static files. So I write the test. So I want to test if I get a static file. So let's say I want to provide the JS logo. So in the test, I try to get it with the right path and see the response code is correct. And the content size is the right size that I'm expecting. At least this is the simple way I found to test that we got the right image. And to implement it, we need to say which folder we put static files. So we add an extra method for static. It's a class side method, static files folder name. And this, by adding it, we need to ensure that we have the logo. Of course, the file is in the right folder. And that's it. And the server is ready. It's working. I don't know, I didn't check the time, if I have time, but I'll do the demo at the end. So now the server is ready. We can go on with the client side. So client side, we need, one way of doing it is writing the HTML file that will be served as a static file by our server. So a bunch of tags. What's important is that we need to include a script that is a JS script that is generated by PharoJS. And we need to provide IDs to various tags, to the DOM elements that we will be using in the application. And all these, so the JS file is generated from the Pharo code, and the HTML file is the one that we have written. And now it's time to write the client side. So this is a subclass called Minimal Express App, and it inherits from file-based web app, which is provided by PharoJS, and a threat to say, okay, we are the client of a web app. So this will help. I will explain it later. So, and the code is rather straightforward. So on the initialize part, we need to ensure that when we click on the DOM element that has the ID, actually the right ID, we need to talk to server, send the get command with the right text that is written from the input field. And when we post data, we need, when we get, we need to write the text provided by the server to the right DOM element, and when we post, we read it from the page and send it to the server. And the data is basically obtained from the elements of the page. So this is, we're accessing the elements by ID. So this is the IDs that we need to rely on. So this is the connection between the JS that we generate and the HTML page that was earlier. So you see the IDs here. We need to find them here. That's it. This is the only assumption we need to make. And I put the tests at the end because there is a connection the other way around. Here we inherit from app test case classes that are provided by PharoJS. And we can, by default, we have an access to a root object that is called app, which is the current instance of the entry point class that's provided on JavaScript. This is our client. And we can say, okay, give me the element that has this ID. This should be the display. Assert the content is what is empty. We write something in the input field, click the element, and wait until the result is what we expect. And then we generate the JavaScript, and we are ready for production. So, I will summarize what I discussed and then make a demo at the end, depending on how many times left. So, 15 minutes. Okay, good. So let's go with, maybe we can skip to the demo, so this will be better. So if I go, I need to make it bigger. So this is a trick for Pharo. We can scale the scale. Okay, so so if I take the tests, why I cannot click? So this is the test we wrote earlier. I showed you earlier. So how to get the static file. I don't know if it's readable. Maybe I should make it bigger, even bigger. Yes. If you like pixels, okay, this is what we get. And if you have a better option, let me know. Oh, yes. Okay, let's go to the settings and appearance and use very large. I think very large should be good enough. And we need to reopen the. Okay. We'll play. Okay, the code is still small, so it's not uniform. That's okay. We will do it like this. So this is the tests I show you already. And if I click on one of them, okay, let's click on both of them, the full class, what it will do is on the fly. Okay, it was too fast. Okay, you see the terminal blinking. Basically what it did is it generates the JavaScript, generates all the required files, called npm to do the install, start the server, and okay, maybe we should do the halt. So this will be, this way we can see it, self halt, and run it. Okay. Did I? Ah, okay, it didn't save. My shortcut wasn't working. Okay. Okay. So this is my terminal. I don't know if we can make it any bigger. Okay, it's bigger. So you see that when we are in test mode, PharoJS generates the app and also a lot of facility, so we can interact, talk to the Pharo image. On the Pharo image, it's halting. And if I go over, so do I have any? Okay, no, it doesn't show, we didn't log the interaction, but that basically we already got the response. At least I think so. Yes, and we can go over and here, so the get talk to the server on JS. Now we are testing the response locally, and then okay, we do the test and it's fine. So we can proceed and let's go with the other one. And here it will be, maybe we'll try something else. Instead of running this, we have another tool called the playground, the PharoJS playground. So if I go to the, should be this one. Yes?
If you run it twice, will it fail the second time?
No, because we save on memory only, so it destroys what's available. Yes. But then if we had a database, then yes, of course, then we need to take into account that it's a database and we save. But we want it to be a minimal. So here, I opened a playground. And okay, it says that it's connected, and it's connected to the server, to the JS server. So with this server, I can write something on the console. So let's say, hello ESUG. And if I go there, hopefully it should say here. Okay. And let's see if we can say easy, what was it? The zinc thing, no. It's Z and easy. Easy and get data. Okay. The keyboard is not working here. Why it's not working? Maybe I'm not on the... of course, I need to provide the host. HTTP localhost, and I believe the port number is 4321, and hopefully this one will work. Okay, we get an empty response. And this is what we do on the test. And if I do a post 2, is it post 2? We'll implement this one. I forgot about this one. Okay. Anyway, you got the overall idea. And we can interact. So we are interacting with the server. So the server is working.
Post data.
Post data. Okay, thank you. Post and data here, and we'd say hello ESUG 2023. Okay, we're not that far in the future. And here, content type. No, it's more, we need to provide it. It's a more complex command, I believe. It should be an entity. Okay, yes, I remember there was something as entity or something.
Then entity text.
Z and entity. Okay, we don't want to do it. Text and okay, it worked. And now, if I ask it,
Do double print.
Okay, and we get the response. Yes, we need to get the body from the response. So okay, let's inspect it. And the entity here, and okay, it's here, and we got the string. Hooray! Okay. So. Thank you. So that's okay. That's the server. So the API is working. Now let's close this. So it's obviously closed the terminal. Terminal isn't there. And now we can do the same with, okay, now I'm almost done. We can do the same with the client. So when I do express clients, give me the playground. So basically the same thing. It takes a while because since it's a client and since we used the right classes, it knows which server it's bound to. It generates the server code, starts the server, does the same for the client, generates the client's code, opens the web browser on the client. This is what we get. And now we are in development mode, right? So now we can do the get here, interact with the server, and say ESUG. Oh, is it the right? Yes, ESUG 23 client demo. Post, and it updates here. The client is smart, so it updates everything, and we can show various things like static file download. We can download the syntax of the postcard with the syntax, and this is all a JavaScript code generated from Pharo code. And since we are in development mode, we can still interact with. We say okay, window. Let's say no, it's the window alerts. Will it work? Not sure. Hello. Okay, and we got this small hello. This is the basic feature. Okay, we can do something else. We can say what we can. Oh, okay, we can get any elements here, access the DOM, navigate, and whatever. So I will not linger on this because time is running, but you got the overall idea. We can interact with the JavaScript interpreter. And what's the interesting here is that the server and the client are both JavaScript, and Pharo here in the image is only for development. So this is my summary. I'm not lost. Yes, here we are. So both the client and server are generated by PharoJS. We are reusing libraries and the JS runtime, all Pharo code. We test with JS objects from Pharo, and we support different architectures and workflows. Depending on the setup, on the constraint we have, we can either use a Pharo as a server or generate the JS for the server. And for workflows, we can, for instance, write the HTML code as we did, or generate it on the fly, depending on if what we are willing to do. So other news related to PharoJS, the current stable is now Pharo 11. So this took us some energy to move, because last ESUG we weren't there for Pharo 10. So we did Pharo 10 and Pharo 11 during the year. And the bonus, we have a continuous integration, which is what was pending for a long time. Now we have it. So we have a GitHub action running Smalltalk CI. And it goes, so now we are more confident when we do releases. And we have also worked on performance. We have improved performance. And if you want to learn more about performance, there is another talk on Thursday. And it shows, we will have some nice graphics that use PharoJS to display the performance of PharoJS. And we are stealing libraries from the from the JavaScript world. So that's it for me. Thank you everyone for your attention. Thank you for listening. Thanks to the contributors to the PharoJS. You're, by the way, welcome if you want to contribute. And thank to ESUG for organizing this and for the support of PharoJS. Thank you. The question was, how do we import libraries? So currently we rely on the require keyword of JavaScript. Maybe I will show you. We have something called PG core. Okay. Let's do it the simple way. The simple way is basically we provide the list of libraries we need with the dependencies. Express app, okay. And so we depend on. Okay, this is a complex code. I don't know if they have any other implementers here. There are other implementers. But basically, we provide a collection with package names, and we go and fetch them. This will install them on the fly. So we have the code next to the server, and then if we need to import one, so PJ core, we have a require. Basically, we do require like JavaScript, except that it's wrapped in a method from in PharoJS. So basically, you link it. So Karsten has a question.
So if it's a transpiler, how do you debug the server code? Is it also an interpreter? We can use the debugging tools from Pharo, or do we have to use JavaScript debugger then?
Actually, so the question is how we debug the code. So it's the server. The question is the same whether it's server or client. I mean, we generate JS code. So it's twofold question. Twofold answer. The first step is that your application is developed in Pharo, so you can run tests locally to Pharo. So except if you are using some external JS object, your application is supposed to be developed with Pharo. Like I have some example. I have, for instance, stupid example. I have a counter. So the counter class is there, so I can in Pharo image, so I can test it alone. So regardless of the UI or specific JS libraries. The other part, when it's specific to when we export to JS, so far we cannot browse inside the code. We cannot go into the code, but this is on the to-do list, and I think it was Benoit who talked about the protocol for debugging. So yes, he confirmed. So there is a path there, but we didn't implement it yet. Okay, Guichet.
Do you have flaky tests, and how do you deal with them if you have some?
Flaky tests, no more. Luckily, we struggled for a while, and if you noticed, we have this wait in one test. Yes. It's at the end of this one. It's because it's asynchronous events. So we click on the button and we wait until it does the processing and updates the widget. So instead of doing an assert, we have this kind of thing to deal with asynchronous events. And this is the main issues we had with flaky tests. And once we solve this, basically it's stable. The other issue we had is like when we run on the CI, and if the CI is a small server, then it's slow to respond and it times out. So we had to expand the time limits for tests, and then those are the two main issues we had. Okay. Thank you.